Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Showcase for us. Man, I just totally botched that. It's okay. Welcome to the Collector Showcase for Sunday. This week we're going to be talking about Masters of the Universe. Of course, I got Retro Ryan with me.
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Happy to talk MOTU tonight. I have the power. You can catch me on YouTube live Tuesday nights, right around 10:30, and I take game requests for free and do cover songs live. So yeah, let's get started on this.
Yeah, so as usual, everyone, just if the levels are wrong, let us know so we can get that fixed. But got the chat going here.
It's my number one. It's my number one favorite line, people. I mean, we're gonna get right into MOTU Mattel 80s is my favorite line. So
this was definitely one of mine as a kid, man. I loved He-Man tremendously. I'm pretty sure part of that had to do with the fact that my dad, was a big Conan fan, so of course it was something that he was gonna watch anyway. But yeah, this toy line meant so much to me at that age, like between 2 to 5 years old. Probably maybe 2 to 4, considering after a certain point, there's a story I'll talk about how bad, you know. But yeah, so let me get the toy line up, and then we can go ahead and start discussing each of the figures in the waves.
yes, sir.
So on this, where do we want to begin with the first wave?
Like what got me into it, or
Yeah, so I guess what was your first figure in this line?
So I just remember walking down KB Toy Store, down the aisle, seeing Skeletor, man. Like the Skeletor, it doesn't get any more badass than Skeletor as a villain. Dude, the skull head,
Yeah.
hood, the purple, like dude, everything. The laugh, the evil laugh that he does. And even though like part of the Funimation show was the sense of humor, it's very comical when He-Man's like throwing like Merman across the screen, or Beastman, like, and they're like landed in like in like the swamp or something. As funny as it is, it's rooted in just being so cool and just so badass. Everything from just Eternia and Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain, everything is you kind of want to live in that world. Or at least I did as a kid. I was fascinated by it.
Oh yeah, man. Like I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was just that whole fantasy element. Maybe because I was a blonde-haired kid, growing up and stuff. But I remember like just love playing with these toys. I had so many of them. I'm pretty sure I had a pretty close complete set as far as what you could get retail. Not like the mail-in figures or any of that, but I mean, they were really solid. I mean, you got He-Man here, who originally was going to be the show technically was going to be a Conan show for kids, but ended up becoming its own thing. What's up, Vash? What's up, Shode? But yeah, I mean, great figure here. Let me see. Even the card art, it just kind of like, it really kind of focuses on the kid. I mean, the characters. It's not too distracting.
Yeah, awesome card art.
You got like Man at Arms. Of course, the Man-at-Arms didn't have the mustache like he did in the show.
We got a shaved Man-at-Arms.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's got to be ready for combat. I mean, so okay, here's the question, because I don't remember how many figures were in that first wave of He-Man.
Well, that's the thing about, even in this toy guide, they're not really saying that.
No,
I don't know if they broke it into waves, because if you reference our last episode, it was very clear Playmates had that first wave that was like the Turtles, Shredder, Bebop, Rocksteady. You got like a lot of your main characters, right? This wasn't so much that. I mean, we got them just piecemeal, one by one coming out, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look it up. I mean, I think we maybe gotten four or maybe 6 figures. I mean, you got.
But you know what? That's a good thing to bring up, though, because I don't think it's that important, the waves in this. And the reason I say that is there was so many villains that we got in this line. I mean, we're talking like 60, 70. I mean, so many, one after another. And you know, the way I break down the line more is the variations of He-Man and Skeletor. Once we get into, not to get ahead of ourselves, but once we get into like battle damage He-Man and Skeletor, once we get into like Thunder Punch He-Man, you know, once we get into Dragon Blaster Skeletor, like all these variations that extended the line of the main characters into different variations, were I separate the line and the waves almost more from that.
Mm-hmm. Well, because yeah, you got like, I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 figures before we got the Princess of Power.
Yep.
And then when you got the Battle Armor He-Man and Skeletor, which is the battle damage one, of course, which had that cool feature. Because I don't know which line did it first. Was it Hot Wheels or He-Man that had the whole crash damage or battle damage with the figures?
Well, regardless of who had it first, I mean, the fact that you have multiple levels of battle damage. You could go from just like clean chest, no damage to the armor, to like a slice, to like multiple slices. Like, you know, you got into a war with your figures. The fact that you could go from that to different levels, that was genius on Mattel's end.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. You know, and what was cool was, I know this much. You know, we got a little bit of a DC comic in each figure. And that was actually how you got the storyline before the Filmation cartoon came about. And it had a drastically different storyline. But yeah, you got like what? So we got Merman here, which we were just joking about the fact that like the Filmation version versus the toy
with the bug eyes.
With the bug eyes, and like he has no nose, so oh man, I'm on the spot. I can't do it. I can't do the voice. I did it earlier, but I'm on the spot. I'm live. I can't do his voice right now.
Too much pressure.
So yeah, it is the pressure. Okay, we were just joking about this too. You got Beastman here, right? This orange Cheeto.
Looking like a Cheeto, yep.
Yeah. And they retook that figure, and then where's he at? Come on, where are you at? There's Whiplash. Come on, am I missing him? I'm totally blind. Where is Moss Man? Where are you at? Yeah, here we go. They repaint the figure, throw like trained vegetation on him for like those dioramas you got, and made Moss Man. And what's funny is I joke about the fact that like the way this figure was, that like he became Mold Man instead of Moss Man at this point. You know, 40 years later, or 3 years later.
Give me a second, Vince.
Yeah. But I'd love to know what, like, for the people here. Hey, Ruby. Sorry, now that I can say it. What's up, Showed? And everyone else here that's hanging out in chat. Like, what was y'all's favorite He-Man figure? Did you actually get to play with He-Man? I know there was a window for this line. Of course, the fact that, you know, we ended up getting the, was it the 2002-4 series, where they did a more darker version. They actually had a toy line for it, which was really nice figures. And of course, there's the newer He-Man Revelations that's on Netflix. It's a travesty and just awful, but you know, that's just me. Hey, Carla. And for the ladies, Carla and Ruby, did y'all get, you know, She-Ra figures? Did y'all watch the cartoon for She-Ra? I'd love to know. The pressure is real. No worries, Vince. Well, like when you do Merman's voice, you have to like think of him not having a nose. I mean, you can't do like Krillin's voice because it doesn't work. But you got to think that he's aquatic. And it's just escaping me. That's because I'm live. Let me see. Showed said, I watched He-Man very little. Or, there's very little I remember since I was young, but the toys look radical. Well, I mean, you gotta think too, like this line, kind of technically in a way, was the reason we ended up getting Turtles, because Playmates wanted to have something equivalent to what Mattel was doing at the time. And I mean, you can see it. Like you look at He-Man. So I'll go grab He-Man here. He's got that crouch stance that like the Turtles have. Of course, he's more ripped. He does look like Conan. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's like, I need to pump. I'm gonna. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, and I can normally do this all the time, but it's more the heat of the moment. But you had some really cool figures with some like cool gimmicks. You know, Tila being one of the first few female characters like that, like toy brand that actually kids wanted, because she was part of the show and she was awesome. You got Faker over here, which is Skeletor's version of He-Man, a robot android. Let's see. Carla said she watched the cartoon but didn't own the toys. Ruby says, I did have a figure of her. My parents watched all of that with us. That's cool. See, that's the thing. Like, I was with me and my dad. We watched this cartoon all the time. And my sister actually watched She-Ra for a period of time as well. But you just had this, like, you just look at this vast library of, like, just great characters, cool little gimmicks, variants. You even have like characters from the movie. You know, Blade over here, which I was gonna leave for later because I know Ty Lord and me are a fan of the Masters of the Universe movie. But you even had like, what was it here? Stinkor, right? This figure was notoriously bad because he smells. He's just this skunk character. It's crazy. What's up, Ikun? DOP in the chat. What's up? Nothing much, brother. Halo. I watched some episodes, didn't have any of the figures. Well, and that's, yeah, I understand. And I wonder about that. Like, you know, I know that toy brands did have equivalents outside of the U.S. Sometimes they were completely named differently. But, yeah, like, you know, you got Angela here, and where is She-Ra? And actually, you can find She-Ra now in part of the He-Man Origins line and part of the Masterverse figures, which are fantastic. We'll get into that a little bit later. But then you got into like these villains that are like, okay, they're a themed type of, like, after animals and bugs. So you got Buzz Off, you know, one of He-Man's friends. He looks like one of those guys that you'd see on one of the Spanish TV shows back in the day that you probably still see now. You got Clawful here. Big giant lobster with a small claw and a big claw. Everyone makes fun of this guy because his name is Fisto. But, you know, I'm waiting for Ryan to come back, but it's okay. And what's kind of cool too, you got like Jitso here. He's got this golden hand that like has a karate chop. Very stereotypical character here, Asian character. What else you got? Cobra Khan with this suction face. Let's see what else. Mecha Neck was a pretty cool character. His neck extended. So he was a, you know, you could have different abilities of like headbutting people or being able to see over high walls. Of course, you know, you always had to have the sidekick. Orko over here. I enjoyed this character as a kid, I'm not going to lie. The Scaredy Cat Magician. So, Ikun, what was your favorite He-Man figure? Let's see what else. Of course, we got Prince Adam over here. Looks nothing like how bad he was in the show. And if that's the case, hold on. Let me. I'll show this real quick. So you have this one. It just looks like He-Man in some purple pants and a white shirt with a maroon tunic. But how he really looked like in the cartoon was this. So he had this pink tunic, and he's got these purple pants with, like, you know, fur on the boots and purple boots. You know, there was some questionable designs for certain characters, and it's like, how can you not think this guy is He-Man? I mean, look, he's so ripped. It's like he didn't skip leg day at all. But you can't have He-Man without his trusty sidekick over here, too, of Cringer. The cowardly cat who becomes the brave saber-tooth tiger. Okay, let's see. Hold on. But all jokes aside, so there was some really cool play features. You got some really cool play sets. Definitely we're gonna recover some of this once Ryan comes back. But
yeah, I'm here. I'm just dealing with an incident.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, you're no problem, man.
You want to run my way? Any questions? I might have to talk to a cop here real quick.
Yeah, you're good, dude. You're good. You know, a lot of different. Oh, go ahead.
It's taken care of. It's taken care of. No, I handled it.
Okay, cool. But, like, you know, you had a very wide cast of heroes and villains. It's not like certain toy lines that were coming out back then that were, you know, you may have 17 heroes but only 3 villains, and it's like some of those villains you have to army build. But there's a wide range of like just classic characters. People like I know that my favorite He-Man figure and character that my dad told me I totally didn't remember was Stratos. This Birdman with this hairy chest that flew around, I guess. Apparently I enjoyed.
Yeah, he's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, I think like he was like a really cool character. It's been so long since I've watched the Filmation. But like Roboto.
Roboto's amazing.
Dude, like just like this clear translucent plastic with like
You
the
can see all the gears
yeah.
moving.
What else? You got and I was making fun of Fisto. You know, everybody made fun of Fisto.
Yeah.
And then
But there were so many cool villains that everybody had their own favorite.
oh
was the
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing.
You got Beastman, what else? We got Merman, of course, we were talking about earlier. Evil Lyn. Like cool sorceress like villain that like was played by Meg Foster in the movie. Perfect casting, by the way. What else? Of course, I brought up Faker. You have Trapjaw with his robotic arm and his jaw, metal jaw.
You know, one of the problems, as a collector, I can point out, Evil Lyn always had the wobbly legs.
Yes, she did.
If you look at, like, I mean, even if like the toy wasn't really played with much, the way she didn't stand up well. Trapjaw is awesome.
Yeah, and then like you ended up getting into like Triclops. This dude has like 3 eyes. His head rotates. He's a swordsman
These
too.
are some of the first. This is one of the first lines too. I mean, a lot of these are early '80s, early mid '80s. They always had like a feature.
Yeah,
They always had a play feature, an action feature, and this wasn't commonplace with every toy line at this time. I mean, that a lot of these had extra features you could use. You know, Triclops with the rotating eyes.
Yep. I mean, I brought up well in like Mechaneck where his his head extended. I mean, it was kind of lame but cool at the same time because it's like he just looked over like 8 foot tall walls and he could use his head to headbutt people from like 6 feet away. But then you got your classic style villains. You got a Lizard Man right here with Whiplash, right? Has a tail, a spear, kind of a goofy character, but like could be like in later series like really awesome.
I really like all the Snake Men. Are some of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue Lasher, Snake Eyes.
Let me see when we get to those guys. Here we go. Like, yeah. Snake Face.
Yep, Snake Face. And you can make the snakes come out of his eyes.
Yep. And here's
It's one of the more expensive figures. I don't think as many people had all the Snake Men.
well, and like this one right here, Squeeze. He's one of the ones they just re-released for the Origins line.
Yep.
Let's look at. Hold on. Let's look at this guy. King Hiss. Looks like he's part of the Cobra Law or what is the first Conan movie. But then you had like Raptor or Rattler, sorry. Giant Cobra.
King Hiss is awesome.
But
yeah, you take all his armor off,
mm-hmm.
and then he's got the yellow. He's just like yellow snakes underneath. which is pretty creepy.
Well, it's really cool because like some of these characters, they're very unique, and like even the new releases for them for the what is it, the Origins line, they have like really cool play features or added features that weren't on the original figures. Like some of them have like snake bodies, like legs that you take off the legs and they have snake legs, or they're, you know, full serpent snake tail. Hey Dad, let me see, let's catch up with you.
Dragon Blaster Skeletor is one of my favorites, and he squirts the water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got really cool chains on him that he chains the dragon up to him.
Where are you at? Let me look for him. Oh, well, there's the Terror Claw Skeletor. Yeah, but let me see. Show was joking about the fact that He-Man.
Dude, Extendar. While you're right around there, Extendar is amazing. You see in like the, it looks like a medieval knight.
Yeah.
Silver medieval knight.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites, Extendar. I remember having him as a kid. He's next to one of the He-Man variations there.
Yeah, I just showed him. Let's see.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay for me, like when I, like you'll choose something and you'll see it like 5 seconds later. But yeah, Extendar's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Snout Sprout.
Yep, Snout Spout. Now, can you go to those laser, like the last two, the laser Skeletor and laser He-Man? I think these were only in Europe.
They may have been. And they looked like they were, like that chest for Skeletor looks like it was a different figure, but, or from a different figure.
Yeah, did they say anything about Europe or not? Yeah, see how like all the writing was different? These don't look like normal US cards.
No. And that's the downside of this, is that the site doesn't give you.
That's weird. This doesn't, because every other figure gave us like data.
Yeah, it did.
Even for the okay, what does it say for this? All that. Does it say Europe or anything, or?
Not that I can see. But you have three different languages. Though. Yeah, you're getting 3 different languages for each one.
It is telling us the wave, right? Did it say wave 7?
Where's it at? Hold on, I'm looking for it.
So I guess they did release these in waves. If they're calling this wave 7.
Yeah.
And these are not cheap figures, these laser power ones. Luckily, I got the Matty Collector 2-pack on these. They gave me, a couple years ago, gave me He-Man and Skeletor with the laser in like a $50 2-pack. But to get these original, you don't come across these.
Well, I mean, if we're going to, yeah, and if we're going to talk about like one of the coolest figures in the line, and that's Scareglow. This glow-in-the-dark figure. Amazing. The evil ghost of Skeletor.
And I have an original vintage Scareglow, and that still glows in the dark perfect, like it was open yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I have the vintage Scareglow to compare to my Origins one. I have it loose, and yeah, it, you know, you give it the flashlight test in the dark, you put the flashlight on it, get it charged up for about a minute, and that fucking thing glows, dude, like 5 minutes. So it's still the integrity of the plastic and the durability.
Yeah, it still
is
holds
still
up.
spot on.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of some other ones, because like, I mean, eventually we got into. There's the vehicles we can get into in the playsets. That's.
Yeah. Rio Blast is a funny one though. He kind of looks like a 70s porn star. Can you find him?
Yeah, Rio Blast. Yeah, right here. Yeah, this is
like
when they were trying to add Chuck Norris into the mix.
Or he reminds me of somebody out of like Brave Star, you know?
He does look like he's from Brave Star.
He would rock it in that Brave Star universe. And you got Stone Dar and Rock On, which later inspired Rock Lords.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then let's see what else. Yeah. What's funny is they look like their heads look like they're characters from Tron. So yeah, let me add this story real quick. We did talk about this though. Here you go. Thunder Punch He-Man with the pop caps that you would find in the pop guns that you put in the back of his backpack, and he would punch.
So I want to hear in the chat for anybody listening, please put any characters you remember having that you may have gotten for a birthday, Christmas, or maybe you just happen to be walking the toy aisles in KB or Toys R Us back in the day. Any of the ones we've mentioned so far, did you have them? What do you remember about getting them? Tell us some of your memories. Because this is a line. What's interesting about the MOTU He-Man line is this. When I was growing up, a lot of boys and girls I know, they had some. Even a girl, they didn't just have, like the girls that I knew, some of them didn't just have the princess power. They would end up having a Skeletor in their collection. You know, because it's a line that appealed to a lot of people, which is why they ended up doing the princess power stuff, because they saw how popular He-Man Mania was, sweeping the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And these were the hot toys of the 80s, man. It wasn't really till I mean, there were other toy lines that were hot, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't until Turtles that really had knocked He-Man off the throne. Turtles was the next coming of Mania, as far as just a whole on taking the country by storm, right? A sensation. And that kind of kicked it down a notch. Because remember, by Turtles time in the 90s, it was like Space He-Man. It was the new adventures of He-Man, and that didn't resonate as well with people.
Yeah, it was hit and miss. I know me and my dad enjoyed it a lot. We did collect a lot of the figures, and then those figures ended up becoming hodgepodge customs for Marvel characters that my dad was doing at the time. Like his
you know what? I think the
figure.
toy line was way better than even the animated show on that. There was some good figures.
Oh yeah.
And I like to mix them in with my OG Mattel MOTU.
He had some really cool custom like different villains and stuff that were awesome.
There was like 4 variations of Skeletor that were cool in the Space He-Man universe. Yeah, there was a lot of fun ones.
So let me tell the story real quick. Why I got out of He-Man for the longest time up until just like the last 2 years ago.
While you do that, I'll be right back, Vince, for my rounds. All right? I'll be right back.
So my dad knows where I'm going to go with this story. So there was this kid that told my mom that I had taken his He-Man toys. And she gave him all of my figures, vehicles, Grayskull, all this stuff. And my dad came home to me crying I mean, you're looking at 4-year-old me, 4 or 5-year-old me, crying because my entire toy collection was given to this kid, and we were never able to get any of these figures back. From my dad walked over there and knocked on the kid's home. The mom came out and he's like, "No, he's been here the whole time." And you can just see in the background the kid playing with this new haul of stuff that he took from my house, because my mom just wasn't paying attention, didn't care. And you can imagine my dad's frustration and anger because of the fact that he spent all this money for me to have these figures for over the years and stuff. I mean, of course, it wasn't a whole lot back then, but I mean, you know, in the grand scheme of it, everything, it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff. It sucked. So at that point, I stopped collecting He-Man. Even when they were doing like the 2000X series and even like the newer stuff with Revelations, I completely got out of it. And then finally, when they did the 40th anniversary He-Man, which is going to be this over here, and I will get into this in a moment, but let me pull him up. This figure right here, I started collecting again. I mean, this just tickled my nostalgia of playing with these toys and the love I enjoyed with them, and it connected to me to me as a kid, and I decided to start collecting them again. But yeah, what else? I do want to get into the fact that like this line had some of the most awesome toys, play sets, vehicles, all this stuff. And some of this stuff has been re-released, part of the Origin line. Alright, so of course you have Battle Cat here. I mean, who wouldn't want this giant tiger as a playset? And of course, you know, you had Skeletor having his alternative version, Panther. They had this like soft felt on the figure, which is kind of almost what they did for Mossman in a way. But like, here we go. The one of the greatest toy sets, I mean the play sets I had, which was the Castle Grayskull. I mean, you look at this castle, right? And you got this giant skull, these huge teeth, and for some reason, like when I was younger, I thought this was the villain's hideout. I mean, just when it first came out, before it was in the cartoon. But so cool. Like mini play features. Unfortunately, this does not give a good job of there you go. And what was also cool about this is that with this set, they would release different things that added on to the castle. Like, you got Point Dread, which added a vehicle that fit on top of the castle. Of course, here's the yeah, you got this little perch that you just fit on top of your Castle Grayskull. Yep, Stridor comes with used to come with the thing. Let me see if it's on here, like the newer release of it. No, it's not on here. But there's a release of this that has a stable that connects to Castle Grayskull. And I guess while I'm waiting on Ryan, so let's see. I will check out the chat. Let's see. If it's time. The shape of the plastic casting is cool versus just being rectangles. My dad showed up, of course. I already said hi. Let's see. Lo said, I remember Man-at-Arms figure was famous in elementary school. I don't know why. Ikun said, I'm waiting for them to announce the Slime Pit and Fright Zone. You know what? I am too. Me and Ryan were talking about that before we started the show. And complaining about how the fact that the only way we can get the Slime Pit is the Funko Pop version. Just thought I would check in and see how Shotes are doing well. A bit nervous about the storm. I am too, Shode, and it seems like it's going more your direction than mine, which I wish it would just go away in general. Yeah, Shode said Scareglow is a great name. Rock Lords were originally created as an homage to the species of the same name that were featured in Tonka's GoBots spin-off toy line, the Rock Lords. Yep. One cousin had She-Ra and another cousin had He-Man and Skeletor. That's awesome, Lo. So I used to integrate She-Ra into Barbie gameplay with my cousin. It was fun. See, that's cool. Cross-playing with different toy genres here. The characters were from the Transformers franchise that were released in 1986 by Takara and Bandai. Or Tonka and Bandai, not Takara. Even though Takara was part of that. Let's see. Showed. We had a lot of G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures, especially from my older brothers. But didn't have any He-Man toys that I remember. The Rock Lords are aliens from the planet Cortex who transformed into different types of rocks instead of vehicles or animals. I'm slightly familiar with the GoBots and are some so cool and some cool stuff from what I've seen. What up, Vinny? Ryan had to step away. Let's see. Castle Grayskull, also epic. Yeah, and then, like, you know, you have this walking spider. Spider. You can creep out your parents. Or your little sister or older sister with a walking spider. Alright, so here we go. This is for Ikun. So we'll go with the Fright Zone. Pretty awesome playset here. You got Hordak, you got Skeletor, He-Man, this snake that you kind of puppet and then buzz off here. Cool little features and stuff. See if I can find an old school one. Yeah. No, that's unopened. Here you go. Slime Pit. Still has not been released. We want some Mattel slime, for sure. What's up, zombie? That spider thing was huge. My family would cheap out... Oh, I'm sorry. My family would creep out a real spider. GoBots were the proof. Yeah, the poor cousins of Transformers. Yes. See if I can find a... But all right, so this is the holy grail for the Masters Universe Mattel line right here. This is the Eternia playset. And as you can see from this image, it is freaking huge. And I've seen one of my friends do a video with it. Never had this as a kid. It's almost like the Thundercats lair, right? Makes sense. I was poor too, so I had more GoBots than Transformers. Plus, they were way easier to find. You're not wrong on that, Zombie. You could find them anywhere, like at Walgreens, Eckerd's, at Sam's, or wherever, like grocery stores. And it definitely were cheaper to collect. Sounds like a fun time. At least.
All right, so we've been talking playsets and vehicles.
Yep, playsets and vehicles. So I talked about Spydor and how you could use it to creep out your older sister or family with it. I'm talking about the Holy Grail of the Heat Masters universe, which is the Eternia playset. Yep.
With the little belts that you could go along. Like
it's like Space Mountain, anyway.
And we covered Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain.
I did cover Grayskull. I have not covered Snake Mountain, so we can get into. I'll let you start doing that. Where are you at? Here we go.
So for Snake Mountain in the original playset, you had the microphone with the speaker, and you put batteries in it. And even in the commercial, you can see the little curly-headed kid talking into the mic, threatening He-Man, with his most sinister kid voice. But yeah, that's one of the features of it, that it had the built-in mic with the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it worked decent for what it was. I mean, did it sound like kind of echoey? Yeah, did it sound kind of funky? But I mean, what other playsets had that feature? You know?
Oh well, the USS Flag had that feature, but yeah,
they probably did it better. How did the speaker and mic on that sound?
Oh, it sounded much better than the Snake Mountain one.
Yeah.
I mean, but this was cool because like, this wasn't just like Castle Grayskull where you kind of open it up like at a 90-degree angle and you had like two sides of the castle. You could fold out Snake Mountain to make a complete playset on both sides, and with that bridge, and it had all the other extra features. You had the snake there. I mean, the
handcuffs.
Yep.
You handcuff a figure as like a slave on the mountain.
You definitely got Skeletor's throne in there, which is not as good as the the new one from the Masterverse.
There was the basement orgy room with the sex swing for Evil Lynn and Oh, sorry, that didn't happen.
Oh man, yeah, it's the shag room with that weird carpet.
That was in the Snake Mountain for sale at Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Adult toys. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so dude, this site sucks, man. It's good to be able to see the images, but like you can't like get in here to look at the actual.
No, I don't know why they don't show the. But it's the only site that I could find that had every single figure carded.
Yeah.
But why they would not include the playsets out of the box and just in the box is, I don't get it. But
so here, I'm gonna let you do your little rant about the fact that we don't have the slime pit.
Yeah, while we're looking at the slime pit.
Yes, we are looking.
So
at the
we
slime
need
pit.
a slime pit He-Man. with a nice translucent Slimer kind of green. Because while we've had one released by Matty Collector, prices on Fleabay have risen by scalpers up to $200, which is like 10 times what it should be worth. And Origins didn't give us one yet, and the perfect timing for a Slime Pit He-Man in green would have been right when they released that Scare Glow.
Yes.
That would have just popped right on the toy aisle, having a glow in the dark next to a translucent green He-Man. I mean, those would have just been a great seller for them, because anytime you would try to find a Scare Glow, they were kind of hard to come by for a while too, because people are gonna flock to any kind of stuff like that, or so it's like glow in the dark features, or which just makes me think of, just a side tangent here, why the Real Ghostbusters line has yet to release the glow in the dark for Ghostbusters that were a late line release on the originals that nobody was able to get, but like a select few. Why they haven't released those yet? Those need to come out too, while we're talking about glow in the dark figures and translucent green ones. Those need to come out, and they'd be a massive seller, and they'd be great for like a Halloween release, you know, something that glows in the dark.
I mean, it would be the perfect thing. I mean, especially, it seems that right now with Mattel, they're moving away from more of the origin stuff and into the cartoon accurate version. So there's maybe a chance. I mean, we could. But I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot of vehicles they still haven't done yet.
Well, we were talking about, even before the show, we got it handed down to respect due where respect needs to be given. That Mattel, between the Origins line and the Masterverse series, has done an epically phenomenal job with these two modern lines. From everything, from the stock that's been in Target and Walmart, while there haven't been as much of the figures we would have liked, and maybe too many of others, the in-between of that was Big Bad Toy Store made them all available. And then any you couldn't get there was a fourth place to get them with Mattel Creations.
Yep.
So between the extent of the line that they gave us with MOTU Origins, you basically they reissued almost the entire fucking line, dude, which is unheard of.
Correct.
On a line this big. It's phenomenal, the job they've done. And if I had to give it like a number scale review out of 100, I'd give them like a 90. They killed it. The figures are durable on Origins line. This new cartoon Funimation series is great too. The Masterverse in the bigger scale with the extra detail and points of articulation is awesome. So I mean, they really just clap for Mattel. They've done an excellent job. It's all we could ask for, what they've given us, really.
Yeah, I mean,
so
like, to think that we got He-Man, I mean, of course, from the Masters universe, he doesn't look like Dolph Lundgren. The Super 7 one has a better likeness to him than the Mattel version, but I mean, it's still great that like we got a movie version of that figure, as well as Frank Langella Skeletor, which looks like screen accurate. It's great.
But yeah, I mean, we're talking about toy lines that get reissued a lot of times, and collectors put it in like a shooting gallery. They miss the mark so much. A lot of toy lines when they go to reissues, and this is not the case. This is a line by Mattel. They are, very carefully curated the reissue and re-releases of these figures, and they did not screw it up. And these are figures you could screw up. The action features on some of these, like I said, they're durable. They have more points of articulation this time around. You don't have to worry about the elastic bands wearing out because there fucking aren't any.
Mm-hmm.
They're just ball socket joints in the figures. You don't have to worry about that. To the point that you can even swap the heads out easily.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can stick a He-Man head on a Skeletor. You can make your own customs with a lot of these. So, as I've done with a few, I made one. I popped on. It's funny that it ended up being interchangeable. I took a Mattel Superstars wrestler version of Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. I popped a He-Man head on it, and it was compatible. And now I got an NWO He-Man, which I fucking laugh my ass off every time I see him in the ring. Next to Razor Ramon.
Well, there you go.
So,
there's a whole idea of taking Master Universe characters and cross them over to certain wrestlers.
So yeah, I mean, they really did a great job. I want us to be the show that gives props when these toy lines do hit the mark, because there's enough nerd culture out there that's like heavy breathing and just critical of every line. And I don't want us to be that. I want us to be the one that when they do nail a toy line, we say thank you.
Oh yeah,
this is not always about being negative as a toy collector, and it's not always about wanting things that we're not given or we didn't get. I really feel like they gave me what I wanted, and what I wanted was I went all in on this Origins line, as you know, Vince, and I did the crazy idea, the one to open, one to display. I went all out on this line, and I have that because it was always a dream I thought I'd never be able to afford, having all the MOTU
original
figures on a card back. Because the vintage ones are way too expensive to have them all on card back, and you have to worry about the bubbles yellowing on the plastic. You got to worry about that. So it was an easy way for me to feel like I have the line represented in my collection. So
yeah. And so like here we can do this. I want to get into, you got the Masters Universe Origin action figures, right? So like they've done such a great job, and what I got up right now is Big Bad Toy Store, of these figures that they've been re-released. They have additional things that the original figures didn't. You're getting definitely a lot of the original Snake Men. Of course, you got the new vehicle, which was the what is it called? This is Skeletor's air chariot or whatever, his airship from the cartoon that never had a toy back in the day.
Yeah, which looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
look at that thing.
And just like the box, just like the level of care that went into like making these box look and feel just like they did back then, and having some of these play features. And then like right now, like I was saying with the cartoon line, they're making figures that look like they were from the cartoon. They're transcending.
Nothing felt rushed out.
No.
When we received it, everything was spot on. We're not having loose joints. We're not having limbs break. We're not having parts break off, hinges crack. We're not having any of the things happen that could potentially happen if you don't test your toy line for durability, which they've clearly done.
Right, exactly. And I mean, like even figures that like it didn't even exist that are like just cool additions to the line, like the Necro Conda here, this figure. If I remember correctly, this is one of the ones that has like the cool custom bottom where they take away the legs and they add a snake bottom, which is fantastic. I mean, we've always like wanted a globulous figure to come out. And I know we're gonna get the classified 6-inch series for GI Joe Globulus at some point, but it's cool that He-Man's doing that same thing. And then like you got these glow features for this character here, and just look at the accessories. I mean, most toy brands don't even knock it out of the park like this.
Yeah, it's a line we're getting. We want to talk about. I want to point out things that the Origins line has given us that the original line may have not. In any case of a deluxe figure, we're getting multiple heads. You know, like a menacing face, like in battle, a normal face that you can pop on, swap out. We did not necessarily get those for all the original ones.
No.
So we are getting some extras. We're getting bonus weapons. I mean, they're not being stingy. They got the mini. Now we're going to get into something I'm going to get a little bit nitpick on. Okay, the mini comics that they give you in them, the art is not as good as the original ones, guys. Okay, is not as good as the original comics you got with the line. Also, you will get the same comic with certain different figures, whereas if I'm not wrong, you get a different comic every time you get a different figure from the 80s line. So that is one nitpick. I'm not gonna bullshit you on that. The mini comics, I'm not that impressed with them that you get in the card backs. I gotta go there. I gotta do one nitpick. If I'm giving them a 90, that's why it's not 100. Because these mini comics, guys, they're caca. I'm not a fan of the art in them.
You know, I haven't even opened mine to see the comics because like the Prince Adam with Cringer didn't have a comic.
Yeah, I'd love to see you show absolutely any mini comic in any of these, and just the art's not good. I mean, even on the cover of each one, the art's not good.
Well, and that's hard to believe, dude. Like when you get the boxes that they've been giving for some of these figures, like
the box art is amazing. The mini comics, they must have given it to a different illustrator.
Here we go. Let me see. Sure, it's gonna be sold out. I already have it, but that Prince Adam with Cringer, you know, that like the box on that one is fantastic, but I don't believe it came with it didn't come with a comic on mine. But okay, anyway, let me get back to this. So another thing about the Mattel stuff is like you're getting these awesome newer figures. Like for me, the new Eternia stuff is the thing to collect for He-Man. You got and so basically what these are they take the original sketch and they modernize it for as if it was a figure line today. That has nothing to do with the Kevin Smith, Revelation series. It's this thing on its own. This is if Mattel were to do a new cartoon today, and it would be more serious. Like this Merman is amazing. You got multiple like just armor. You got different hands. Like he just pops. Like even the card art. Out of the box, it's great. It just speaks to me as a collector. But like one of the ultimate things that in the collection is this right here. Both me and you have this, and that is the Masterverse Skeletor on his throne with the light up LED for the flames. He's got both of his staffs.
I'm giving this best Best playset of the year, even though it's like not like a massive playset or anything.
No.
This, and guys, every time you press this button near his foot, there's a little button. It changes fucking colors. Not only does it change colors, the flames from green to red to blue, it has a flicker effect, like the flames are flickering,
which is awesome.
which is legit.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I haven't even seen that on like LED strips that you can buy. I've never seen a flicker effect like they have in this fucking thing. It's really good. I mean, just look at this throne, man.
And you get the Skeletor figure, which is awesome because technically that was the thing. My problem was whenever the the new Eternia 40th anniversary He-Man figure came out, which is amazing. Great figure, great detail, paint job's awesome on it. Has all the original weapons that he came with and the shield. And I was like, well, where's the Skeletor equivalent to this, right? So, we did get a few. You got the new Eternia version, which gave him, classic Skeletor head, and then you got this newer modern version with this freaking awesome goatee. But that's not what I was expecting because this was already out before the 40th one came out. And then you ended up getting, where's it at? I think there's one more.
I didn't see a goatee on that He-Man. A goatee
on Skeletor. So
I can't see. Show me.
Yeah, just wait. It'll come back up. It'll come back up. So for Skeletor, you have his classic head, and you have one where he's wearing a helmet with this like goatee. Yeah, it'll pop up here in a moment. Oh yeah, the other one was the New Adventures of He-Man Skeletor. But like this is the 40th anniversary version of Skeletor. This is what I'm glad we got this. It is definitely a amazing piece to have on your shelf.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I have the Matty collector version of that.
And then, of course, and I'm going to get away from, let's see, we're only going to do New Eternia. We're not worrying about. But then we have this battle. So we did get a battle armor version of He-Man, but we didn't get Skeletor. Now we got one. Looks freaking awesome.
Dude, and this Skeletor that comes with this throne is also just top notch with the cape.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, they did not chintz on anything on this throne.
But yeah, like, so when you get the chance to see the Skeletor, dude, it looks, he's even got like chainmail on, like when you take off the helmet, he's got chainmail on his head. It looks so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even the details in the face on him, he looks like he's got, like, you can just see the teeth. It looks like he's got blood on his face, but it's just the way the paint is. But this is fantastic. This is like modern collecting version of these awesome figures that we loved as kids, that we're getting the re-releases of it. I mean, even down to, Cyclone here. He looks great.
I'd like them to re-release the Dragon Walker.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. I'd love like that. Yeah, just the original of it.
And I'd love for them to re-release the Slime Pit.
That's what Ekin was saying too. Was like they need the Slime Pit and they need the Fright. Come on, Fright Zone.
Yep, Fright Zone.
But like even this, even though it looks like Karen He-Man, it's still freaking awesome
Yeah,
figure
it looks
here.
like it makes me think of like Sally Fields He-Man.
Sally
Can we get a
Fields
zoom in?
He-Man. Yeah, we did talk about that when I was opening. But what's like
Sally
check this.
Fields and fucking Miss Doubtfire. Miss Doubtfire, Sally Fields He-Man.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in there?
Oh, let me hold on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it'll go to it. Yeah, you can just. It does look like Sally
This is
Fields.
like
does,
you know, He-Man going in for a makeover at like Nordstrom's when they do you up for free with the makeup.
Yeah.
Why is like He-Man like has like facial blush on his cheeks? Something is like way too accentuated on this like face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what the or it's like He-Man was like a heavy smoker and he's got like skin aging. Like I don't know. Dude, I don't know what's going on here. It's all wrong though.
Yeah, the body,
wrong.
everything, the body's fine, the figure's fine, the head's wrong. It's like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
the
have to
face
get
is
a.
like soccer mom He-Man. I don't know what's
Oh.
going on here, dude.
But like, okay, so Mechanic, we were talking about this. Like the way they did this makes this figure so much better. Like,
Yeah, what's with the eyeshadow too, bro? He's got guy liner. Is he Billy? Is he Billy Joe from Green Day? Like what's up with the guy liner? You're not
I
in
don't
the
know,
pop
dude.
punk game.
I don't know why. When I first got my figure and I looked at the hair, I was like, "There's something wrong with this figure." And then I don't know. I'm probably gonna change the head on it. But Mechanic, dude, like he has these extenders that you pop on to make his head either longer. Or you can do it with his staff, which is something from the cartoon that really you couldn't replicate with the toy, because when you made his head extend, it was like just went straight up. It didn't have any other articulation. So like this like really kind of like encapsulates what this character could do in the show. And then let's see, Triclops over here. Working great, man.
You know what? Let me say too. I want to make a comparison on this line. I never have a problem standing these figures up.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have a problem standing up a lot of my McFarlane figures, even when they have that fucking circle stand with the peg
Mhm.
and you pop it in. I have them. They pop out of that socket. And I think it's because the McFarlane feet are always very thin, small feet, and they don't bend very good. Whereas these He-Man, they always stand well and don't wobble. And I like that because, dude, I get so pissed off displaying my McFarlane figures. I can never get like the leg joint in the foot to sit flush. And then what happens is you put them on this fucking circle stand, but they only give you the little pin that goes into one foot, not the other. So then you got one foot at a different angle than the other foot, and they stand like stupid. So just thank you to Origins for making these stand well on a shelf, because I'm constantly like leaning up my McFarlane figures, leaning them up against another figure to get these fucking things to stand right half the time, and it is annoying to display these.
A lot of that is to do with the fact that when those McFarlane figures were coming out, they were statues almost. They had very little articulation. You know, the DC line that they're doing, that McFarlane's doing, has been really good, which is definitely something we do need to get into at some point. Just McFarlane stuff. But like with the Origin, you know, you're getting wrist articulation, you're getting ankle tilt, twist, and you know, you can literally pose these guys in any stance you want, pretty close to actually have them like an action figure instead of them being just this static, you know, 4 points of like articulation.
Dude, I also really don't like to have to use those circle stands at all, even if the McFarlane ones come in, because I feel like it gets you start to get into that look of like a miniature doll.
Mm-hmm.
You know that they would always have those circle stands. I don't want to feel like I have dolls on display. I like an action figure, and I don't need it to stand like on a little ballerina stand like a little bitch. I want it to be posed like and looking cool on a shelf. I don't really like that they need to stand on a circle stand, the McFarlane ones. It annoys me.
Well, even the NECA stands are like 3 inches in diameter, and like they stick out so much that it's hard to like have a bunch of figures together. I don't know how many times I would be sitting there putting my TMNT 1990 NECA figures together, and they're amazing, but like, because I wanted the stands for a little bit more support, but they're so wide, it's like you can't put them in like these dynamic poses that you want to with other figures next to them. So that really affects like the ability to pose them and do things. So I totally get you. There's better stands that you can get that don't take up too much real estate, that are clear, so they don't look as bad. But you know, I don't know. I agree with you, and that's something we'll definitely do a episode talking about modern collecting, and like, or even just comparison between the two, and like how hard it was to like do certain things with certain figures. And I was going to make a joke here, is like, you know, you finally get a Man-at-Arms figure with a mustache, so he looks like, you know, what, Burt Reynolds here?
You know, it's like, and it's like sometimes the problem is almost the way the legs sit. Like they almost make too much of like a scissor stance, you know?
Yeah,
where
you don't
want them to have like a scissor, because nobody fucking stands with the scissor stance when they're like a human being walking. You don't look like that. So it's like you want to position it in a realistic way, and when those legs are like coming out to the left and the right, you can't get the stand stable. And that's what I'm finding with a lot of the McFarlane ones, even the DC ones I'm getting. They don't want to stand right, and I'm having to lean them up against another figure, which I hate doing that. Because then if it's like a dominoes effect.
Yeah, because once one falls, the other falls.
Then they all fall down.
I completely agree on that. Because that was what I was dealing with, like my my Black Series figures for Star Wars, and dealing with the fact they won't stand just right. Like, I remember I'd be in Discord, hang out with you guys, and you'd hear, "Damn it," because like just vibration in the house made my figures fall over and my detop, and I had to go and fix them. And it's like, what do? You go get stands. Well, if those stands don't work, what else do? You go get ticky tack just to put it on the bottom of the feet. And sometimes that can be frustrating, dealing with all that.
I want to go to one MOTU figure that I've never liked. I gotta roast one. I never fucking liked it. It's always been dead to me. Mantenna. I don't fucking like Mantenna. He sucks. First of all, why is Mantenna? He's got red eyes, like he's got needs some clear eyes, or he just smoked a blunt. Why is Mantenna high? First of all, you got the red eyeball.
I'm gonna bring him up. Hold on.
I never liked Mantenna.
Well, look at okay, first off, right? He's supposed to be this 4-legged creature. What do? They put 2 legs, shape it to look like he has 4.
Showed somehow accidentally got hidden, so I unhid him.
Yeah, I just saw that. That's why I was like, I didn't have the figure up. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I fixed it. No worries.
Okay.
But look at Mantenna.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this figure? It sucks.
Hey,
Dude, it looks like a bastardized gremlin with a red head. I hate it. I hate its gumball eyes. Montana has seen some shit. What's up, Dookie? Yeah, dude. I just gotta.
what's up?
I'm not
What's
one
up,
of these
Dookie?
guys, man. Like, you'll have people that. So this may be my favorite toy line, but look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it if I think a figure sucks and Montana sucks, and somebody's got to say it. I don't believe that. Even if it's your favorite toy line, you have to love every figure, and I've
No,
never liked
you don't.
Montana.
You do not have to love every figure, and you do not have to buy every figure if you don't like it
Yeah.
to have a complete collection. And because your collection is your collection, so there's no reason why you need to buy.
Yeah. So anybody that likes Montana, more power to you. That's your right. I just think it doesn't even match well with the rest of the line, and it just looks goofy.
Well, didn't they actually do? Where is he at? Hold on, let me find him. Because the closest we got to what they could have done with Montana was this one. MOTU. Like having the multiple legs, and you can just build them into whatever the hell you want. That could have been Montana right there. Like, you could have done the same thing with him.
Yeah, I don't mind Modulok. I don't mind them.
Yeah, Marglock. Yeah, there you go.
I don't mind them.
And I remember having this figure. Cool figure. Look at this. Like $7 for this figure.
Now, there's one case where I feel like Origins, well, a few figures, but
Montana has seen
where
some
they
shit.
really nailed it with perfecting a figure that needed some work. The original Leech was like a suction cup
Yes.
joke.
And I don't think he's on here.
Origins,
Oh yeah, he is right here.
but if we look at the original, so kind of lame, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the Origins version,
Mhm.
they give you a head you can pop on that's like got full monster looking.
Well,
Nuts. And then can we show that the Origins improvement they made?
let me see if I can find him. Give me a second.
Yeah, because we look at this figure. Okay, it's okay. I don't love it, but when you see what they did for the Origins version of this, they nailed it because they gave him a much more dynamic looking head. Yeah, OG Leech is a joke, but now look,
Give
if
me
we
a
can
second.
find
Yeah.
the Origins Leech.
All right. Yeah, here you go. This is right here. This is just fine. There you go. Yeah, you got this monster head. He's got regular
Yeah,
hands.
look how awesome it looks now.
Yeah.
So they really did a full overhaul on this,
Mm-hmm.
and I like it now. And I proudly display this Leech because see the head.
Yep.
Now you gotta pop on that new head, and it looks awesome now.
Yeah. Oh, and so
The suction cup. Look at that. That's a badass, dude.
well, here, check this out. So, like, that goes back to this whole thing, too. So, come on, refresh. Oh, yeah, hold on. I was doing a search on that. Where are you at? You should be here. No, he's not, so let's go here. Where are you at? Yeah. Doesn't do it justice, but like you can see that he's got that standard, a new head. Let me actually try to find him.
They did, Floyd, but even with the pop out eye feature, I got no love for Montana.
There you go. What is this? Go away. What is this?
I'm a Montana hater.
Okay. There you go. That's the Masterverse version. Awesome. Taking that figure, updating it to this, You would think that this version of him is an updated version of the Origins one, not the original toy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, you get the feeling of like why he would have like the web fingers instead of just suction cups, because he's an aquatic type creature. As well as the fact that he's got these suckers on there to drain your blood. Anyway. But yeah, definitely. I mean, let me see. Oh yeah, so like here, many faces, right? Has 3 heads, you know, kind of cool looking. But when you look at the, and I'll just pull this up here on my screen. Mute that. All right, so let me grab him. Hold on, he's in the back over here. So there you go. There's his Masterverse version. You know, you can turn the heads, recreate all that stuff if you want to. But what's awesome is that you can actually pop his head off, change the faces. He comes with this briefcase, right? Friggin' Zartan as a MOTU figure, man. It's Zartan, and he's got other heads.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, like, you couldn't even think about that back in the day. But, like, yeah, it's Zartan as a MOTU figure.
I love me some MOTU, Moon Man. It makes me say, I have the power!
Yeah, my wallet doesn't have the power. It's gone now. No. But, like, yeah, there you go. Like, there you go. Ram Man. It's a really nice detail, like that chrome on it, on his armor.
Yep. It doesn't have a spring action, does it?
No, it doesn't have the spring action. Unfortunately not. So then there you go. My dad's favorite character, Man-at-Arms again.
So the lady's got to watch out for Ram Man in the club because he that terrible.
What's up, Jose? That
terrible line. He just says, "You want to get Ram, baby?" He goes up to all the girls.
No, that's Fisto.
Oh yeah. the two of them go out and hit the town, hit the clubs, and just the girls are running away.
So like, yeah, let's bring that up here. We got. I did bring up this Stinkor, the fact that this is a skunk character. He's he has a chemical within the plastic that makes him smell.
And we got to talk about that Stinkor is just a repainted merman, which some people don't realize.
Yes.
They just turned merman into a skunk.
Yeah. So we already have Beastman redone into Mossman, and then here you go. Here's Merman. And of course, back to Skunkor. But let's see. Which also he has, isn't that like just a remold of Mechanex's armor, chest armor? And then let me see.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the snake guy that gets killed in the in the movie.
Isn't it always amazing, like how much stink can come from one skunk? Like you'll just like, if there was a skunk in the vicinity of any like building, it like smells for half a mile. Just like it's amazing that one animal can stink that bad.
Yeah, yeah. And from what we learned, it takes them like what 24 hours or 48 hours to refill their that gland that they produce the chemical with.
Refill their stink gland.
Yeah, their stink gland. But here you go. Look, Rotor. This is the half a figure that we got.
The fidget, the OG fidget spinner.
Yes, exactly. And then let's see what else. Isn't this one of the most expensive figures right here? Ski Tour, or a version of him.
Don't you love how they had to differentiate with the orange splatter and the new on these? It's new. The new and improved. They just slap new on these.
Yeah. It's like, and it's the neon orange, kind of in a way. It's like
Dude,
they were.
the Ski Tour is amazing.
Oh
The
yeah,
blood pumping in the chest.
correct.
This is peak toy design right here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm being serious. I love this. That is like when you saw this in the 80s, his chest fucking pumps blood. Are you serious? That was amazing.
Chest pumps red fluid. Evil energy draining insectoid. Anyway, and then you got a little blood dripping in his chest there.
Yeah, and the way it would kind of drip down
Yeah.
on the clear front, you know, it's just very, very badass.
But even like what is it? Oh man, there's other figures too that like I haven't even got into. There you go, Beastman from the movie.
Now, have we showed any of the late release original MOTU figures that, like the ones that were kind of movie figures?
Yeah. I did show He-Man and Skeletor. I just showed Beastman. Let me see.
No. But I mean, okay. The original series from the 80s had those late 4 figures, like one had dual swords.
I did show, here's Gildor.
I always forget their names. And the one that like sparks.
And then
Remember the sparking one?
yeah, this one here. Sarad.
Sarad, okay.
Yeah, and then where's it at? Where's Blaze at?
Gildor.
Yeah,
Gildor looking like a fucking Tolkien troll.
There's
Out
Blade.
of the Hobbit. Sarad is very like Mortal Kombat looking, isn't he? Like very Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh yeah.
Like,
It's freaking Kano.
Yeah.
Would cut you from ear to ear. Anyway, my bad
Blade looking like a
impression.
like a pirate. Looking like a shaved head pirate.
Where was the other one? Hold on. It was that one, Gildor, Blade, and then I'm trying to remember who the other one was that they had. That I thought there was 4 too, but I guess I'm wrong.
Maybe not.
But I mean, with you got this one with Gildor looks more.
Sarad, Blade, Gildor, and then I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah. There you go, Ty Lord. There's your woman.
Okay, so there's one more I thought was a little bit lame, and I'm trying to remember the name. Okay, not Fisto, even though Fisto was pretty lame. What was the one with the gold glove? What? And he's got like a ponytail head. He looks Asian.
Oh,
I don't like that character.
That's Jitsu.
Can we pull up Jitsu?
Right here. The stereotypical Asian bad guy with kung fu action, where he karate chopped.
Jitsu don't do shit for me. Jitsu is like bitch Sue. I don't know. He doesn't appeal to me. This character.
I still don't have him for the Masterverse. I mean, I'm gonna eventually get him because I'm just gonna collect all the.
Like, what's his deal? First of all, he's got a goatee.
He's a villain,
gotta,
dude. He's the dude. He's modeled after the henchman that's in every '80s action movie. He was in Die Hard. He was in Big Trouble in Little China.
And what's cool about Jitsu? I mean, why does he have this one gold glove hand? Like, I'm not impressed with this. You know, like in a toy line that was so amazingly creative, and they give us Jitsu, the man with we got to talk about the injustice to all African Americans, which is Clamp Champ.
Yeah, Clamp Champ.
Clamp Champ is.
Where is he at? Unfortunately,
Clamp Champ is an embarrassment to any young black child that they would receive Clamp Champ. That is not a cool figure to have. Shame on you, MOTU.
There he is.
For Clamp Champ. Shame on you. That this is the character you come up with for, this is an insult.
It's pretty bad, dude.
Clamp Champ sucks, guys.
Yeah. Here. Let's look at the.
Clamp Champ's O.J. Simpson.
There you go. Here's the Masterverse Revelations version of him.
But look at the tagline. His power pincher snatches foes. Lame-o.
I mean, I guess they couldn't get Mr. T to give his likeness or something, because they know usually he happened to be in a lot of toy brands or cartoons.
Like all the cool figures, you got Mosquito literally pumping blood in his chest. Who's gonna want Clamp Champ? Oh, Mom, I want Clamp Champ. Said nobody.
Hey, you can be Ninjor. He couldn't just be named Ninja. He's Ninjor. Use his special ninja weapon to chop down foes. Oh. What you got on that one, Ryan?
Generic ninja, forgettable.
Yeah.
Taka character. This is for like the kid who just wanted any ninja toy. Mom, I want the ninja. This is like the kid that just doesn't know any shows. He just goes in. The mom's like, "What do you want, sonny boy?" Or the grandma's like, "What do you want today?" And he's like, "I want the ninja, Mom." They don't even. The kid doesn't even know about He-Man. He just points to the ninja. That's why they made that figure for the generic Ninja Kid fan. What they wanted.
I could either have Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, or Ninjor. I'm gonna go Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow all the time.
No, I do love me some Grizzlor. I gotta be honest.
Yes, Grizzlor is awesome.
He's freaking hilarious.
Caveman guy.
He's so fluffy. He's so fluffy. Look at his little vest. His little Hordak vest.
Yeah.
Hilarious, dude.
So here
I
you go.
want to hang out with him, be his friend. He's the
he's
Chewbacca of the MOTU line.
But then you got this version, which is awesome. He's got more of the hair on him and everything, and he's ready to party.
This was in fashion being Grizzlor in the 70s,
Yeah.
In the 70s porn, you had a full Grizzlor.
All right, let's see what else. Hold on.
Dragster is a little bit, you know, I kind of like the design of the figure, but yeah, it's a little, the implementation of the action feature is questionable. Like, who is really using the feature of Dragster, right? Who is winding him up, pulling the pull string thing, you know?
He's trying to be, freaking Gigan, right? He just needs like that to be a chainsaw in his chest, not a wheel. But you know, transforming evil warrior vehicle. Did he actually transform? You just rolled him on his side.
I thought you like pulled, like there's like a pull thing, and then he went fast, like with the little wheel.
Yeah. But
like a drag racer, you know.
He's a unicycle. He's not cool Gigan, right?
And because of that little wheel feature, a dragster feature, you know, drag race, he's always scuffed up. If you get him loose, his paint is always like just scuffed and fucked up. Same with Ran Man because of the spring feature.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, you're knocking him into things as a kid, all his paint's worn off.
Which was still a cool toy versus drag strip. Spring-loaded body that blast back. Anyway. All right. I mean, you got like Webor, which is cool, little spider dude. He just looked cool.
Webster?
Yep. And where is he at?
Did we talk about Moss Man? And he has kind of like a minty smell.
Fresh pine smell.
Yep. Moss Man is hilarious. Also, Moss Man feels like that when you're on like a putting green, like the fake grass. He feels like that.
Yeah. He's
If you're poor and you can't afford an air freshener for your car, you just hang Moss Man from the rear view, you know? You hang for that fresh pine smell.
Yeah, you literally could just like, you know, grab Beastman and spray paint him green and be all right.
By the way, there's nothing that can agitate my OCD worse than a yellow bubble on a card back. Dude, when I see a yellow bubble on a card back, I just think like somebody urinated into it. I just think bad things. I cringe whenever I see a vintage card of a figure and it's yellowed. A piece of my soul dies.
That's what happened to my McFarlane, you know, Spawn figures, like that first wave. All that plastic yellowed like crazy. And it became super brittle.
I bet that this Moss Man in this yellow carded back has lost its pine freshness at this point.
It's kind of like when you go get a car, those car fresheners, right? That you're like, all right, it's going to smell like something, but it's already got a hole at the bottom, so it's all that.
Imagine like you're playing with your He-Man figures as a kid and your friend's over, you're like, do you want to smell my Moss Man? And your friend's like, what? You want to smell my stinkor? That sounds so wrong.
It's like, honey, I told you to go outside and play with your friends, but I am outside, Mom. Moss Man smells like outdoors.
Hey, Mom, smell my stinkor. She'd say, what did you just say? Hey, Mom, sniff my Moss Man.
Here you got Too Bad, where he punched himself in the face.
Yeah.
It's still a cool figure, but he went...
Self mutilation, Too Bad.
Yeah. It's the liar version of this figure. What are you doing? I'm kicking my own ass. Anyway. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, this was such a great line, though. I mean, from the because there was so many highs from it. There wasn't that
You
many
know how to
low
put
points.
a poll in the chat, by the way, Vince? Are you able to do like a vote, like we do a poll on the three worst MOTU figures and which one wins, like between Clamp Champ,
I can't do it on my phone,
Mantena.
but hold on. I can do it on. Okay, let me go. Let me do it on here.
Yeah, like let's vote on the three worst and see who wins. Like Mantena, Clamp Champ, or what should be the other one? Should it be like Leech or Jitsu?
I don't know.
Leech is pretty bad, dude. A suction cup fucking thing, dude. Like, who wants a suction cup toy, dude?
Why is it?
Should we make that the three to vote on? Clamp Champ, Mantena, and Leech, which is the worst?
Well, here we go. We're gonna start a poll. All right. First off,
Yeah, Mesquite. We were saying Dookie. Mesquitor is top tier, epic, amazing figure.
okay. So, add options. We're gonna type in. Give me a second.
Also, like Leech is like a really heavy, like rubber figure. It's like if you threw that at your friend, like you could knock a kid out with Leech. It's like the LJN wrestlers, like the big rubber dog chew toy LJN wrestlers. Like if you threw one of those at your friends, you'd like take your friend's head off with that. You could bruise your friend with throwing Leech at him. I picture a lot of kids. Leech didn't squirt. Dragon Blaster Skeletor squirted water though. You could fill up Dragon Blaster Skeletor, and I think you could fill up a Snout Spout with water too.
Yes, you could. Which I want that, dude. I really, really want the new Eternia version that was only on Matty Collector.
Yep, Snout Spout and Dragon Blaster Skeletor both had water spray features.
So who was the third one? Because I got Mantena, I got Clamp Champ,
and Leech.
and Leech. Okay. Let me get that, and I'll post the poll.
That's really the trifecta of caca right there. And the three of them. Somebody like in a couple days from now is gonna be like, I love Clamp Champ, and we'll be like, well, that's good for you. I'm happy for you. You liked Clamp Champ. I mean, somebody needed to, and just as a testament to people not liking Clamp Champ, I've been to my Ollie's the last 5 times. There's stacks and stacks of unsold Clamp Champs.
Oh yes.
That nobody wants to buy, bro, on the shelf.
I thought about buying it, but no. What Okay, you know why that Clamp Champ doesn't sell at Ollie's? Because he's not on sale. He is literally $15. I don't want to pay $15 for this figure.
Yeah, if you slap like a $5.99,
I will.
If you slap like a $5 on there, people would get Clamp Champ.
At least Clamp Champ looks like O.J. Simpson. That is true. But I don't know if he could drive the Bronco with with his clamp.
Clamp Champ is like, the guy in the horror movie that gets sacrificed first, it would be Clamp Champ. Like he would just it would be the first one gone. Hey
Wait.
man would send him in to pinch somebody, and then he'd just get killed.
So Tyler, your Ollie's has clamp for $6. Dude, I will send you $6 or whatever to pick it up for me, because I wouldn't mind having him, but I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay $15 for him.
That is so hilarious that they even knew Clamp Champ was so lame he never made the show. They knew he was so lame.
All right. Anyway, all the jokes aside, so here we go. I will show this in a second. Let me pull it up. All right, hold on. Go to the other window.
They could have made a female wife for Clamp Champ, called her Tramp Stamp. Clamp Champ marries Tramp Stamp.
Oh, dude. Okay.
And her power is to be slutty on spring break and get bad above
drunk
booty tattoos.
All right, here you go. This is Snout Spout, the Maddie new Eternia version. This is freaking awesome.
Tramp Stamp would definitely be Clamp Champ's wife.
Snout Spout. Look at this, dude. Ryan, this is an awesome figure.
It hasn't popped up for me yet.
Okay. He looks like he's ready to fight fires.
Oh yeah, that's badass.
I mean, I want this figure. I will have this figure eventually, but like even the box, man, like the back of the box, that is freaking amazing.
The metal paint scheme on it, like the chrome, looks like tin.
Oh
like
yeah,
like
definitely. Like he would totally destroy Skeletor. I mean, like the strength on this dude.
How many kids you think squirted their sister with the Snout Spout or Dragon Blaster?
I don't know.
And got grounded by their mom.
Probably
Stop
a lot.
Stop spraying your sister.
Oh, jeez. And just for reference for folks that don't know. All right, so hold on. Let me pull them up. This is the figure that we're talking about, the original version, versus this figure. I love how he has like the pressure nozzle on his belt. Or like how the gauge for how much water he has in him.
Wait a minute, you're telling me Leech could spray water? I thought it was a hard plastic figure though. So where did you fill up the water on Leech?
Let me look.
For some reason, I remember it as being like a thick, hard plastic figure. Maybe you could fill up like...
Yeah, he's got a little nozzle.
A nozzle in his back? Okay.
Or his nose, or in his face right there.
My bad. Floyd has made an amendment to the video.
Hey, that's my dad there. He helps out a lot.
I was mistaken on Leech, you guys. Leech is in fact a squirter. So if your dream was to have a Leech that squirts, Leech is a squirter.
Leech is a squirter. Elephant Cyborg Fireman. Dude, I would watch that anime. Honestly, I would watch that as an anime. The Elephant Firefighter. You know, Ryan, this is going to be bad, dude, when we start talking about like Captain Planet and some of these other toy.
I'm already refusing to do that episode. We will not do. You know how much I hate Captain Planet. I won't do it, Vince. I won't do it. Not only will I not do a Captain Planet episode, I'm gonna not recycle. Because I hate it so much.
All right, I think we're at our point.
Yep. We had a lot of good laughs on this one. A lot of funny characters to roast.
Oh yeah. We didn't even get into the whole She-Ra stuff, other than the fact I kindly briefly mentioned him a little bit. But
To be honest with you, though, dude, I don't really know the She-Ra line that well, and I have respect for it. I actually think the Crystal Falls playset is pretty dope. And recently, 6 months ago, I archived all those commercials in the compilations, and I thought some of the stuff looked cool, but I really don't know that line that well. Do you? Do you know that line that well? I really don't.
No, I know my sister watched it a little bit. She had a few figures, but I mean, she was more like Rainbow Bright and
Yeah,
Care Bears and stuff like
Care
that.
Bears,
My Little Pony,
My Little
Barbie.
Pony, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty mean to my sister with with her Barbies. I'm sorry, sis. I've already apologized enough about that one.
So there was the Crystal Castle. Was there one called Crystal Falls and that had the water features?
Let me look.
Because that's sure a thing we're noticing.
Yeah,
a gimmick.
here we go.
Everything had a
Crystal
water
Falls, yeah.
feature.
With mermaids.
Yeah, so I thought this was kind of cool.
The equivalent of the slime pit just happened to be, for water.
See, Crystal Falls is like, where He-Man would like watch all the babes like, bathe.
Yeah, he's hiding behind the bushes over here.
He's like, yeah, He-Man's going there, watching all these hotties fucking in the, in the jacuzzi over here.
He's pulling a full Porky's. All right, we'll leave that joke there. But I mean, you even got dinosaurs in friggin' He-Man. Like, when did that come out? Does it say 87?
Yeah, these are very hard to come by. Anytime you get into Jurassic shit with He-Man, those are expensive.
Well, yeah,
I know that.
I would say any toy line that has dinosaurs in it, because like G.I. Joe had it in there for a period of time. You had it in, of course, Transformers.
Dude, talk about perfect timing. Talk about one that needs a re-release. This needs a re-release because nobody can afford this one.
Which one? The pterodactyl one or the?
I was gonna say the T-Rex.
Oh yeah, the T-Rex. Yeah, that's true. It's pretty awesome. I mean, this is 87, dude. I'm playing NES at the time, collecting G.I. Joes and Transformers. So I mean, you're talking about 6-year-old me at this point. I was done with He-Man, but we already talked about why I was done with He-Man. But I mean, I there was a lot of cool stuff. I mean, they've re-released the Eternia set right through Matty Collector. I totally missed that.
Yeah, I like the Matty Collector figures in the packaging a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that series. They have like kind of like the lightning bolt effect, and kind of this weird like, almost like an octagon bubble on the for the packaging. Can you pull up a Matty Collector to show them what some of these look like?
Yeah, give me a second.
The Matty Collector ones have gotten very expensive to collect at this point because obviously they're out of distribution. They're not being made anymore. And a lot of these have risen up the cost to get these new.
Mattel Creation. I can't even say it. Let's go to Mattel Creations. Where are you? Let me see if there's anything on here. First off, I'm looking at the site versus the.
I kind of want that
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Skeletor looking. It's like a Skeletor Faker. It's like Faker and Skeletor colors. Do they have that one still?
I'm going to look. There we go. We're gonna put this here. Paste. All right, they got the Too Bad, which I know I wanted, but it's sold out. This was really cool, where it's them before they fuse, and then you can put them together.
They're selling mugs on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's 50.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be $100 or whatever on.
Stupid Fleabay.
Yeah, but here you go.
Tell me the.
There's the Night Strider
name.
or Striker. Oh, Stalker. Sorry, can't say it right. Stridor is the actual thing.
Did they show the Skeletor looking Faker?
Let me go look.
I don't want to get that one. It's just a nice looking paint scheme on it.
I don't think so.
Oh, I sold out.
Yeah, and they just removed it off the site. Let's see.
Jitsu.
Hey, at
He
least Sunman, you know, has a sword and a shield, and
Okay, guys, by far, Clamp Champ is the biggest stinker, the biggest offender.
is that where we're at right
Won
now? On the
poll, by the way, is the most hated Clamp Champ.
oh, that's cool. I didn't even see that one. Vicon or Vicrom. That's friggin' total Conan right there, Dad. The hell with you. This is just an upgrade kit for different characters, I think.
It would be cool to end with kind of like a nice, like, perspective shot of like, if you could find like the Eternia playset, the original one with like all the characters underneath it or on it, or just, you know, just kind of give like an end image for just encapsulating this toy line.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to see just a full Eternia playset kind of decked out. Or even maybe find like an old advertisement for it, for the playset. It's just so epic in scale and size.
Well, there's the image from Pixel Dan, but here we go. I got one. Copy. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Ikun, don't worry, it wasn't all hatred for Leech. It was with an asterisk. So the asterisk was the Origins line saved Leech because they gave him a better head that pops on.
Yes, they did.
Instead of the suction cup head, they gave him the fully formed with teeth, almost looking like a crocodile head, that you can use, and actual hands if you want to pop them on. So the Origins line actually is a good leech. That we're knocking the original leech, the full suction cup one.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. I mean it was a figure I had, I know, but I mean I retrospectively looking at it, I don't have fond memories of him. I remember I think what I did was I took my figure and I put him on like my dad's back window. Like, you know, people did with Garfield, but he had a leech in the back of his car.
All I can say about Eternia playset, I wish I had the money or the space for the vintage or this new one. And I don't, for either. I don't have the money or the space. But it's very cool.
I mean, you talk about playsets, man. This thing is epic. And then you think about adding Gray Skull and Skull Mountain to this.
Yeah.
I mean, epic. I mean,
It's an epic playset.
It's the equivalent of like the USS Flag. But I know that.
Ekun says Leech was good with forgiving fake hickeys. I had no idea that was doable with Leech. That even people were doing that. That's hilarious.
That is crazy. I didn't know that either.
I thought at the most people would maybe stick it on car windows, like kind of like the suction cup Garfields back in the day. Like I thought maybe people were doing that, but I think they used to have that for Alps too. There's some Alps plush that like have the suction cups for the window.
Did they already do a Mosquitor for the Origins line? Because I mean,
they did do it.
They did.
The Mosquitor for Origins is good. Yep. It's a deluxe
him over
figure.
there on the left hand side.
It's a deluxe figure.
But yeah, no, this was a very fun toy line to collect for.
It's my number one, man. The OG MOTU Mattel line from the 80s hits me in the feels, and I love the Origins line too. I totally understand why you love the Masterverse. It's all good stuff, man. They hit it out of the park. It's just great. It's great line to collect for, and a great show to watch. I still love the Funimation and animated episodes.
Oh yeah,
I love that they're goofy and silly and fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that cartoon style. You know, it's like, it's a nice in between. Like, it's not too much detail that it was like a hard show to, like, they were really able to give you, like, I don't know, 150 episodes of that show. That show went long. It went a lot of episodes, at least 100, I know. And I love that about it. You got so much of it. They had that tagline lesson at the end where the He-Man teach you a lesson. But it had the comedy, it had the action, and it had great animation. Colors popped. I actually, you know, I know I'm crazy, but I'm one to argue that it still holds up well because I think it still looks really nice, the animation on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a product of its time. It did captivate a generation of, you know, children for loving fantasy and exploring their imagination. It had a very playful take on like heroes and villains. It wasn't too serious. And, you know, of course, right off the back of this, I mean, we got Transformers and G.I. Joe, and then, you know, He-Man and Thundercats, which was more, even with Thundercats was a much more darker show in tone. So it was kind of like, in a way, the next evolution for He-Man, and then that moved into Turtles after that. But this was a big part of our childhood in the 80s. I mean, especially for me, I remember playing with these figures. I never had this playset. I would love to have had this playset, but I was already out of the series at that time. With my dad. we had a great time. And it's one of the fond memories that I always enjoy about like He-Man and most of the toys I enjoy, because I played with them with my dad. And I try to do a little bit of that with my son. It's hard to get him out of the virtual reality worlds he's playing, with Roblox and now Fortnite, but he does enjoy playing with toys, and when he does, I try to play with him as much as I can. But yeah, He-Man was great. Master of the Universe. I look forward to the new movie. I wish we would have gotten a really good video game. I mean, I know in the vein of everything that's going on with them doing the Turtles game, and we're getting the G.I. Joe one, we're getting the Toxic Avengers. I love a beat 'em up He-Man in the style of...
You know what I play? You know what I play to pretend it was one? Golden Axe.
Golden Axe,
1
yeah.
and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even 3, they're all fun. Revenge of Death Adder, Arcade, they're all good. They're all fun. If you want that He-Man style, great medieval arcade game. So yeah, man, good times.
Yeah, so everyone, we really hope you enjoyed this episode. Scan through the thumbnail for what the next topic is for this next Sunday. It'll be a fun one, as well as the fact that both me and Ryan would love to hear what your thoughts are on this line, what you enjoyed the most.
Which figures you had?
What figures you had? Maybe if you still have some, do you collect it now? Is it something that you pass on to your kids for them to enjoy as well? But remember, everyone, we all have the power to be a bulked up, blonde-haired superhero with a sword to fight evil. And stay awesome, everyone. We'll catch you next episode. Peace out.
Later.